Ain't that a beautiful sight? Well, today I am on an 1820 property, not far from my mom's house, and I've just sort of been doing a cursory inspection. It's a beautiful home. Very nice people live here. Gave me some permission to hunt. Don't have time to do a full hunt today, so I'm just doing a real quick check. Already uncovered a lot of modern change. We did have one really cool find. This this extra coin silver plate spoon. I've never heard of coin silver plate. That's one I'm going to have to look up. My guess is late 1800s based on the design, but it's quite nice. And it was a foot under the ground almost, so that's pretty cool. Lots and lots of square nails, as you might expect from an 1820 property. The ground's very iron rich. You know, lots of machine gun sounds coming out of the detector. But I just dug something that I think qualifies as very cool. Not valuable, but cool to me. You know how I love things that are personal and connect to people's art. Well, here we go. You've seen me dig these before. So what we have here are the remains of a harmonica. These are the reed plates. We sometimes call them harmonica reeds, but they're really reed plates. The reeds are the little tiny brass things that cover these holes. And there's like one there, see it? All the other ones have fallen off. And this crumbling stuff here, which is all turned to dirt now, is the remains of the harmonica. So it probably had a wooden body, and this is what's left. Just these two big reed plates. Usually you don't find both reed plates, you know, together. You find one or you find half of one. But this is pretty much the whole harmonica. It just has crumbled away to nothing in the ground. All that's left are the reed plates. I don't really hear anything else down there except the individual little reeds. I can't possibly dig all of those. And you can see there's some white material in the soil here. This is the remains of the harmonica body. It's literally crumbled away to nothing. But still, that is pretty cool. Quite a find, quite an interesting find, and one that connects to someone's personal pastime. Sometime back in the 1800s, somebody sat out here under the beautiful tree that I'm under, playing a harmonica. And they must have set it down to go into dinner and forgot about it. Anyway, very cool. Pretty neat, huh? All right. I don't have a lot of time here today, but we will be coming back here later in the week. There's a lot to check. It's a pretty big property, and the ground is very, very productive. So I think there's a lot of cool stuff to find here. So I'm really excited about it. So anyway, I got another high tone here, relatively deep. Turned out to be another harmonica reed plate. Just the one plate this time, and this is the kind I'm more used to. I think that other kind was a more fancy harmonica. This looks like a more regular kind of plate that you typically see. There you go. So, back in the 1800s, we had some real music lovers living here. There is an old well over there in those bushes. And I've been told that in the back corner there's a lot of old detritus that turned up when they were digging. So, I don't know. I gotta leave soon, so, you know, it's too bad because the property's super productive. But we'll come back this week. We're not going to let this one go. This is a great property, and I think we'll find a lot of cool stuff. All right, let's see if we can find one more target. Well, we had a good hunt today. Really short one, but the property seems really productive, so we're gonna have to come back. Didn't even get into the backyard, didn't finish the front yard. Skipped a lot of signals that sounded good. Very noisy soil, which is good. That's what we like to hear. But let's go over real quickly what we did find. So we have this beautiful two-piece button. I think it's early 1900s or late 1800s. The patterning is beautiful, and I suspect there's some gold gilt in here, but it has an iron back. And usually iron back is indicative of early 1900s as opposed to late 18s. But that's just lovely, isn't it? Beautiful. Kind of an autumn leaf pattern. Then we had some reed plates from harmonicas, a silver-plated spoon. Very interesting inscription on the back. It's not one I've seen before. It says extra coin silver plate. I'll have to look that one up. And well, we got some modern clad, you know, who cares, a quarter, a few pennies. 2 wheat pennies, that was nice. Some funky square nails, quite a few of them, and then there's just a whole pile of square nails and other detritus that I've set aside so the homeowner can just see everything that I found. I don't think he's going to want any of that. That'll probably get chucked. Anyway, very productive for a short hunt. Gotta love the 1820s. Well, hello there. We're back at the 1820s house today. It's earlier in the day. It's about 4 o'clock, so we have more time to hunt, and we should be able to be a little more thorough. We were skimming pretty fast the other day. The ground looks good. The grass seems to be nice and moist. The air is cool. All the plugs I dug seem to still be green, even though we're about 4 days later. So I think the ground is safe right now, at least in this yard. I get a sense that it doesn't get a lot of direct sun on the lawn just because of the orientation of the house. Anyway, let's see what else we can dig up. History awaits. Well, I had an interesting signal here, bringing up 12, 13, 14 on the knots. Ended up being a little deeper than I was expecting, but it's pretty cool, I think. Have a look. So that is obviously an old iron spoon bowl. This ain't no stainless steel. It's rusting, so it ain't brass either, or copper. It's definitely iron, so that makes it quite old. Big old serving spoon. Lovely. I hunted around down in there. The rest of the handle isn't in there. I don't know where that ended up, but yeah, there you go. Gorgeous iron spoon bowl. And did get a second signal, and of course, as is true with all colonial sites or 1800 sites, there's a nail in the hole. There's always a nail in the hole, and this is a bit of a classic square nail. Very simple. No shortage of those, yeah? But you can see I had to go a bit of a ways down, so I ended up using the drop cloth to keep things neat. All right, we'll put all this back in, pack it down, and get on to the next find. I wonder what it'll be. Well, we got our next interesting target here. I'm starting to feel like a bit of a broken record. So far, no old coins. The oldest coin we found the last time we were here, which had 1919 wheat. I got another spoon. And not just any old spoon. I got the exact same kind of spoon I found last time. It is literally the same pattern, the same year. It's a 1912 Leota by Oneida Silver, and it says extra coin silver plate on the back. This one's been squashed completely flat. It was bent. I tried to unbend it a little bit. I probably shouldn't have, because you can see there's some cracking there. And there's no silver plate left on this one. It's all worn off. And it was way down there and squashed completely flat. As you can see, there's no... That bowl just looks like an oval. There's no convexness. Convexness? Convexness. There's no concavity in it anymore. Just a flat old spoon. And, 3 square nails, of course, because there's always square nails. A little bit of window glass. And that's a hot rock there, a piece of creosote. I think I knocked a little piece off so you can see the creosote in there. See it? Coal creosote from a furnace. So there you go. Pretty far down there, and of course we had a big root to contend with, mostly because we're right near this plant. This root probably comes from there, so yep. Anyway, we'll get this all restored and put back in place, but that's pretty neat. Spoon City, man. Maybe we can find something other than a spoon. Spoons and harmonicas. People were playing the spoons, and playing the harmonicas. That's what we've been finding evidence of. Not a lot of money. They spent it all on spoons and harmonicas. All right, let's keep going. Well, we've transitioned into the backyard. The homeowner was actually a little more interested in the backyard because he has done some digging out here himself to get soil to use for other areas and has always found things when he digs. So he was curious about having me come back here. So that's where I am now. Very nice backyard. A little cool. Thinking about throwing on a sweatshirt over my Relic Seekers gear. But I just dug something really interesting. Not super old, but interesting. One of my favorite eras is the Art Deco era because the things that were made in the era, they just look cool. They have nice patterns on them. So have a look at this. Came out of the ground right there. And here it is. As you can see, it's a little tiny cylindrical container. And it says Princess Pat on it. You see that? Try zooming in. Doesn't look like it's really focusing. There you go. Princess Pat. And that is classic Art Deco styling on there. And if we look on the back, there you go. Original handmade Princess Pat duotone rouge. Princess Pat, Chicago. And there is some wording around the outside, like it says plattering there, and I can't read all of it. I'll clean it up and get more detail. The high-res pictures will probably look really nice on this particular piece. But this is a little container of rouge. You see there's the slot where it would open. I don't think I'm going to open it because this dates to the 1920s or 1930s. So it's 100-year-old rouge. I'm sure there's nothing in there that anybody would want to rub on any part of their body. Not now anyway, but it's very cool. I like that. That has personality. So, yeah, some young lady was out here putting her rouge on, and for whatever reason, she dropped it. And left it for me to find. Good 100 years later, or 90 years later, whatever it is. Pretty neat. That's cool. Whew. That gave a high tone. Squawking high signal. Crazy. Wow. I can see what the homeowner was talking about. He was saying that this corner back here that I'm in, you can see the dirt around me, it's kind of just exposed moss and dirt, has a lot of things in it, that a lot of stuff is turned up. And the detector's going berserk. There's just stuff everywhere. And just with this, as you can see, pretty much anywhere I point it, it goes off. So there are targets here. And I was getting a peculiar one here, so I decided to turn it up. And boy, it's something. Have a look at this. Look at that. Okay, now that is not any kind of a colonial shoe buckle or anything. I'm pretty sure it's very flexible. Sorry, I got a call there as I was recording the video. So yeah, it's very, very thin. I think it's made of copper. It's kind of flexible, so it might be some sort of copper alloy. I don't think it's brass or anything. I don't think it's that old. I assume it's some kind of a fabric buckle. I don't really see a place for a pen built into it, but I do see a place for posts. See that? Post there, post there. So it may have been a fabric buckle that had something attached to the back, or it could have been a brooch of some kind. It's quite lovely. I don't see any evidence of gold gilt on it, but it may have been covered in some kind of gilt. Really, it looks dark to me, so I'm wondering if it maybe had black enamel on it, or it's possible that it was, scorched in a fire or something. But there seems to just be a ton of targets in this little area. So the homeowner was definitely right. Some cool stuff here. Pretty neat. That's pretty cool. That's some sort of decorative ceramic piece, a fragment thereof. Did a pretty deep excavation here, and there seem to be some doggy dig holes around here too. So, sense I'm getting is that this is a bottle dump. When you start finding lots and lots of pieces of ceramic like this, usually it means a bottle dump, or a privy, or both. You know, trash pickup is a modern invention. And in the 1800s, pretty much everybody had a little dump on their property where they threw their discarded bottles and metal items. And I think that's what's here. So I'm getting all kinds of crazy signals, and they just go way down. They just keep going. I think if the homeowner were to excavate this corner of the yard, they would find all kinds of cool stuff. There might be whole bottles down there that are in nice shape, but, you know, to get at them without destroying them, you'd have to excavate the whole area slowly and carefully, rather than diving down in one spot, because you might cut something like this right in half, you know. These breaks are old, so it's... I didn't break it, but there's just tons of little ceramic pieces down there. So that's cool. Other than that, though, no coin targets, no brass targets. It's getting late. Probably have to cut out soon, but the homeowner did say I could come back on Sunday, so we'll probably come back Sunday. All right, I'll take a picture of this for the guy, and then circle out of this area since it's so heavy and infested, and I'll take a couple passes towards the center of the yard. Ground over here is really crumbly anyway, kind of messy to dig in. Don't want to make a mess. All right, moving on. Okay, it's been a very good hunt. No old coins, but we still found some interesting things. Have a look. All right, so we've got that beautiful broken ceramic. Princess Pat Rouge, 1930s. A 1912 spoon, flattened. Don't know what that is. Disc is made of brass, looks like it might be cut. Not sure what it is. Old iron spoon bowl. I believe that's an old pencil sharpener. Not sure. This lovely old brooch, and that, I think, that was in the same hole. I think that may be like the pin that went across the back of it. Not sure about that. A few pennies, a couple of them are Wheaties. Many shards, lots of little pieces of ceramic, pieces of glass. That's an old piece of bottled glass. It's just an old bolt. And yeah, not bad, not bad. Didn't have enough time really in the backyard. And I'm going to come back on Sunday, we'll do a little more. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little hunt. I enjoyed having you along with me. I hope you'll hit that like button and subscribe, and I will see you on the next hunt. And it was way down there and squashed completely flat. As you can see, there's no... That bowl just looks like an oval. There's no convexness. Convexness? Convexness.